In what is shaping up to be a battle royal with the deep state, President Trump has just retained the high-powered lawyer Joseph E. diGenova. The addition of Mr. diGenova is an indication that the POTUS is prepared to fight back against dirty elements of the FBI and DOJ as well as their designated hitman Robert Bob Mueller, who has been given a blank checkbook and his own Gestapo to produce impeachable evidence against Trump. Things have really heated up with the left and Trump's foes in the establishment having a collective shit hemorrhage after AG Jeff Sessions acted on the recommendation of Department watchdogs and fired crooked Hillary loyalist Andy McCabe. Many are freaking out that such a move by Sessions, who has been as worthless as a heating pad on a wooden leg, is a grave sign that he may have awakened from his year-long slumber and could start cleaning house. The news that Trump is lawyering up sets the table for a steel cage death match with the rats who are really running the country and can use their influence to overturn a legitimate election through their surveillance apparatus and a propaganda machine in the media. Via NBC News, Joseph diGenova, who alleges FBI plot to frame Trump, joins President's legal team. He said officials in the FBI and Justice Department want to frame Donald Trump with a falsely created crime. President Donald Trump has added a longtime Washington lawyer to his legal team who has publicly promoted a conspiracy theory that officials in the FBI and Justice Department are plotting to frame the president with a false crime in the Russia investigation. Joseph diGenova, a former U.S. attorney for the District of Columbia, recently joined Trump's legal team. Jay Sekulow, one of the president's lawyers, confirmed to NBC News Monday. "I have worked with Joe for many years and have full confidence that he will be a great asset in our representation of the president," Sekulow said in a statement. diGenova has strongly touted Trump's claim that the Russia investigation is tainted by bias, with the lawyer telling Fox News in January that there is a secret brazen plot by the FBI to illegally exonerate Hillary Clinton and, if she didn't win the election, to then frame Donald Trump with a falsely created crime. The motive would be that they didn't like Donald Trump, they didn't think that he was fit to be president, and they were going to do everything within their power to exonerate Hillary Clinton, and if she lost, to frame Donald Trump with a false crime, because they didn't think he should be president, diGenova told the network at the time. The news comes as Mueller was directly targeted by Trump, who called out the special counsel by name for the first time on Twitter over the weekend and on Monday. The president characterized Mueller's Russia investigation as a witch hunt, and said the probe should never have been started because it was based on fraudulent activities and a fake dossier paid for by crooked Hillary and the DNC, and improperly used an FISA court for surveillance of my campaign. diGenova declined to comment. What about that falsely created crime that NBC is using to discredit diGenova? It's called parallel construction. A few years back, the computer nerd website TechDirt published the following article: Parallel construction revealed how the DEA is trained to launder classified surveillance info. Last summer, Reuters revealed how the NSA and other surveillance organizations would share info with the DEA and other law enforcement agencies, but then tell them to reconstruct the evidence via a process called parallel construction, so that the surveillance would not then be discussed in court. This is highly questionable, and probably illegal, as a defendant has the right to know all of the evidence being used against him or her, and should also be told how that evidence was gathered, to make sure the collection was legal. But what's being done with parallel construction is that the intelligence community is able to give hints to law enforcement, allowing them to come up with various pretenses for an investigation, avoiding ever having to reveal that the NSA or others used potentially illegal surveillance efforts. One example given in that Reuters report was how DEA agents would suddenly be given a tip like this: be at a certain truck stop at a certain time and look for a certain vehicle. The DEA would then have the local police come up with some pretense to stop the truck, and then when evidence is found they can claim it was a random traffic stop, when the reality is anything but that. After the Reuters report, CJ Ciaramella used Muckrock to request all DEA training material and official policies concerning parallel construction and recently received nearly 300 pages of documents, much of it redacted, but still which reveals that this is common practice at the DEA and widely known. Much of it is in the form of PowerPoint presentations, complete with speaker notes, which say things like how careful DEA agents need to be around classified information because it can screw up your investigation. The explosive Reuters piece on this unconstitutional process to frame individuals is entitled "Exclusive: U.S. directs agents to cover up program used to investigate Americans. A secretive U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration unit is funneling information from intelligence intercepts, wiretaps, informants and a massive database of telephone records to authorities across the nation to help them launch criminal investigations of Americans. Although these cases rarely involve national security issues, documents reviewed by Reuters show that law enforcement agents have been directed to conceal how such investigations truly begin, not only from defense lawyers but also sometimes from prosecutors and judges. The undated documents show that federal agents are trained to recreate the investigative trail to effectively cover up where the information originated, a practice that some experts say violates a defendant's constitutional right to a fair trial. If defendants don't know how an investigation began, they cannot know to ask to review potential sources of exculpatory evidence, information that could reveal entrapment, mistakes or biased witnesses. "I have never heard of anything like this at all," said Nancy Gertner, a Harvard Law School professor who served as a federal judge from 1994 to 2011. Gertner and other legal experts say the program sounds more troubling than recent disclosures that the National Security Agency has been collecting domestic phone records. The NSA effort is geared towards stopping terrorists. The DEA program targets common criminals, primarily drug dealers. "It is one thing to create special rules for national security," Gertner said. "Ordinary crime is entirely different. It sounds like they are phoning up investigations." Like and share this video on Facebook and Twitter if you agree. Don't forget to support this channel by clicking on the donation link down below and subscribing so you never miss any of our trending reports. What do you think about this report? Scroll down to comment below. Now if you are seeking the latest trends in fashion, and electronics and gifts and more at the best prices, please feel free to visit www.atthismall.com. Once again, that is www.atthismall.com.